Okay guys, welcome to Kaiju Yapping Episode 2. And this video is inspired off of another video I just watched from D-Man 1954 that came out a little while ago. So, I will be talking about something that has been kind of, I guess, bugging me lately about the Godzilla fandom. And it is something having to do with the debate for Godzilla vs. Kong, who would win. It's kind of pointless when you really think about it, because movies are dependent on the writers, and if the writers want Kong to lose, or if they want Kong to win, either one's gonna happen. It doesn't matter. It all depends on what the writer wants, and that's just the way it is. That's how these versus projects work. And so I'm basically saying, they never really shown enough feats for Kong. They never showed enough insane feats. The power-ups that they gave Kong are different compared to what they were doing to Godzilla. And this is not biased. I'm not being biased or anything. I'm just saying, do it differently. Like Kong in the Monsterverse. I'm talking about the Monsterverse. The whole Godzilla franchise is a whole different story. But in terms of the Monsterverse, Godzilla gets powered up by a nuke or evolves on his own by feeding on radiation in other places, powers up. Kong just stumbles onto an axe. This is a point that D-Man said in his video. Kong just stumbles onto an axe, and that's just it. Or Kong is given a weapon, like the Beast Glove. So Kong's just given stuff, and Godzilla in the Monsterverse is doing all this stuff, evolving, getting new power-ups on his own. The past two Monsterverse films, they are mostly Kong-centric, I feel. But they are very Godzilla biased. In the span of a few minutes, spread out throughout the film, of course, these two monsters are Scylla and Tiamat. Godzilla kills them instantly, and they just show Godzilla being like this insane menace. And I feel like they're really showing Godzilla's strength in these films. They've definitely shown Godzilla's strength a lot more than Kong's strength. And I feel like they haven't done enough with Kong in terms of him fighting another monster or doing stuff on his own. They have to really make Kong win. He beat the two Warbats in Godzilla versus Kong. But I mean, I want them to do something in the future where Kong survives something that Godzilla would survive, maybe a nuke. I've heard this theory from Dangerville in their most recent videos, that maybe the humans in the next film take over Hollow Earth operations, and basically having humans not trust the Titans and not trust Kong and Shimo. Yes, do that. I think that is a cool thing. Godzilla survive all these crazy things. Have Kong do the same. Give Kong some stuff to survive, because I feel like been making Godzilla up to be this all-powerful thing, and I feel like that Kong deserves that too. And it kind of makes sense. It's kind of annoying how Godzilla fans just are so hostile towards King Kong. They just hate King Kong. They want him to be pathetic or something. I don't know what the big deal is. I don't know why they're so mean to Kong. But I mean, that's just the way it is. I would have Kong survive something like that. Build upon Kong's strength, because in Kong Skull Island, he gets basically almost killed by napalm, or just knocked out. So that's not good. You're setting up Kong fighting Godzilla, but you're showing Kong gets ass kicked by napalm and fire, which is Godzilla's main attack. So even in Kong Skull Island, they haven't really been doing a good job of setting up Kong's power. They did have him fight a Skullcrawler, but of course Kong was gonna beat a Skullcrawler. We need to know if Kong can survive something like fire. And well, he does survive the fire, but like still, in Godzilla vs. Kong, they have Godzilla win the 2 rounds. Kong only wins 1. And Kong they really show Godzilla kicking Kong's ass. It is insane. Kong gets some hits in, but my god, Godzilla just brutalizes Kong in Godzilla vs. Kong. And I was a big Godzilla fan back then, and I still am. I mean, like, I was rooting for Godzilla, but even during the final battle in Godzilla vs. Kong, I was like, this is insane. They're like brutalizing King Kong. Is he gonna die? Like, I was like, it was insane. And so, and also with power scaling stuff, back to that, all that does not apply to this. Like, I'm just saying what they've shown in the movies. Like, I feel like that Godzilla x Kong the New Empire did a better job at showing Kong's strength by showing Kong punching Godzilla to the ground, punching him over and over, and just fighting Godzilla one-on-one, kind of doing a little better. Godzilla still kicked Kong's ass, though. If they saw this video, like, they'd probably be like, no, Kong, you're biased, you're a fake Godzilla fan, you're a Kong fan. No, I'm not. I'm just saying Kong has more focus in the GXK films, but the thing is that Godzilla has been doing all of the insane feats, all of the insane moves, all of the insane surviving all of this shit, and they're showing Kong not really doing enough to show his power. They do show him beat Scar King, which is cool. His ass kicked, and then the humans give him a power glove, which is cool. I feel like that they could do it better, but he's had a power up in Godzilla King of the Monsters, skipping Godzilla vs. Kong. He has a new power up, I think 2 new power ups in Godzilla x Kong, with the energized form and the purple form, like the evolved form. So let him earn that. They have Godzilla earn that. With Kong, they just make him find stuff, and then he just puts it on, or he uses it. It's not earned, and I feel like that they have to do a better job of showing Kong doing feats and stuff. Like, I think that would just be cool if they showed Kong survive an anti-Titan weapon that would kill other Titans. It would show Kong's strength and due diligence. But that's just, my point is that for having Kong be the main focus of these last 2 movies, they certainly haven't really been showing Kong doing enough stuff in terms of any new feats on anything new, really. They haven't really been showing enough stuff. Now, the power scaling stuff is an entirely different story. Like, they analyze every single little thing, and honestly, all that doesn't matter, because it all depends on the writers and on what they think and what they should do. Legendary Pictures have been kind of tiptoeing around pissing off the Godzilla community. Just do it. Just show Kong beat Godzilla. Show Kong beat both rounds. Do that, because as a Godzilla fan, I'm saying do that. Do that. Just do it. It'll just have a whole new discussion. Maybe
do it.
Toxic fans will be like, I guess Kong is not that bad at all. Or they'll be like, oh my god, Legendary stupid. But you have to do more new stuff instead of like appeasing and doing more stuff that's more of the same. Seems like to me, they're trying not to piss off the community. And in saying that, this whole Godzilla x Kong thing, doing a 3rd GXK film, it's cool, I love it. Like, I'm excited that we're getting anything, but really, a fucking solo Kong film, a solo Godzilla film, before we get a GXK film. Not a cinematic universe if it's just GXK films, if it's just Avengers films. Like, you have to have spin-offs in terms of the 2 main characters of your universe going in 2 different directions. Or make a Mothra film, a Rodan film, the whole Toho monsters. They should do the same thing. I'm just not sure if they can, but they should try. And I feel like they've been doing GXK films. I really thought that after GXK 2, Godzilla X Kong the New Empire, that they would be like, this franchise has proven itself. And I feel like that we can make more projects that are like movies. You know? Like, you can do that. And instead, they're doing GXK films and doing smaller projects in terms of TV shows. Not just doing GXK films in terms of movies, because the movies are like the most important part. You know, like you have to build out the world, and none of these problems that people have with more powerful, or Kong having more screen time, Godzilla having less screen time, Godzilla being more fucking powerful than Kong doing all this shit. All that stuff would be fixed if they just did solo films and just had the GXK films focus on them equally. That's all they have to do. Just make solo films. GXK is a very awesome idea. GXK, Godzilla vs. Kong. We have to milk them as much as possible. They make the most money. I don't know. It's just weird. It's really frustrating. And I want there to be solo films. I love Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. But that's just how Hollywood is. So GXK films for the rest of time. Do it! But I mean, like, really. Make solo films. They'll make money equally. Maybe have 2 solo Godzilla and Kong films, have new monsters, and for GXK 3, have a Toho monster. In my Godzilla 3 pitch, I am doing kind of a GXK film, kind of, but it's kind of more Godzilla focused, and that's just the way I wrote it. That's just the way it's turning out. So, yeah, but it's still called Godzilla King's Awakening, but my film pitch is overall basically GXK 3. So that's what my thing is. But really, I just think they have to show Kong do more insane feats. They have to show Kong do a lot more stuff. They have to flesh out Kong's character more without stealing the focus away from Godzilla and pissing off that toxic part of the fan base. Do solo films. That's just the way it is. I love the Monsterverse, but I think it definitely could be better. That's it, guys. That's Kaiju Yappin episode 2. That's it, guys. I'm sorry if I pissed anyone off, if I pissed any Godzilla fans off. That's it. See you guys later, and have a great day.